Hey guys, thanks for tuning in to Comic Book Nostalgia. I'm CB Nostalgia, and we have more fallout from that Batgirl cancellation. Well, probably the biggest story this week is the fact that Warner Bros. Discovery completely scrapped Batgirl and tossed it up on the shelf. Now, there's been a massive backlash online, and quite a few things have developed over the last couple of hours. So I thought we could take a couple minutes to dive in, talk some about what Warner Bros. Discovery is getting out of the cancellation, that would be money, and address some of the rather, violent, toxic response that I've seen online that's completely inappropriate. Now, first out of the gate, let's talk a little bit about what Warner Bros. Discovery is actually getting out of this cancellation. Now, all of this comes from an article at Deadline, and it really does dive into some of the details. The trade makes it pretty clear that the movie was indeed scrapped because of the recent acquisition of Warner Bros. By Discovery. Part of that allowed them to do what's called purchase accounting, which really is sort of a tax maneuver to allow them to not carry over past loss onto their new books. They apparently are looking for $3 billion in what's being called cost-saving synergies. Now, in case you didn't know, the Batgirl budget fluctuated from $70 million up to $90 million. And this is due to the pandemic, but also to reshoots. And some of these reshoots were in response to the quality of the film. Now, the movie's not done yet, and if it still had issues, it would have cost even more money to finish that part of it off, plus any additional money in the promotion phase. So overall, the film probably would have cost Warner Brothers between $10 and $20 million more to put the movie out, at least. Now, according to Deadline, with this tax break that Warner Brothers will get, they'll net $15 to $20 million back. Now toss on that other 10 to 15, and that really is hardly a dent in that $3 billion that they're looking for. But they're obviously making lots of other changes in many places. If you check out our video yesterday, a whole series of HBO original movies have been canceled to clear up some of these budget issues, and I suspect other properties are definitely in the crosshairs. We talked about several of them yesterday, but now we're hearing some very specific rumors about Supergirl being canceled. In case you didn't know, there was a Sasha Kelly Supergirl film that was in the early stages of development, and that now apparently is also going to be scrapped. Now, to be fair, DC announces tons of movies that never go anywhere. Metal Man, New Gods, Nightwing, all these are films that basically got announced, hyped, and then just disappeared into vapor. Now, as far as Batgirl goes, we do know that David Zaslav didn't feel very good about the movie, and he's placing very high quality standards on DC films. This is not necessarily a bad thing, but I do suspect this is just the beginning of the pain that fans might be feeling while they get the system aligned. Now this brings us to the next issue, and that's some of the toxic response. I have to say, some of the response has been really staggering, and I wanted to talk a little bit about toxic fans. Now, I'm going to go ahead and show you guys some of the tweets that we're seeing that were directed at Zaslav and some of the threats. And I have to say, I find this distressing. I really don't care what fandom you're part of, what you like, and what you think is the best version of whatever character. None of this is ever appropriate. I'm pretty disappointed that Batgirl got canceled, but some of the things people are saying online are exactly the reason why we don't get more of the properties we all love. As a studio exec, if you're going to have to put up with this kind of inflammatory language and actual threats, it would make me more hesitant to delve into some of these projects because of the way the fans respond. Now, there's multiple camps of fans going back and forth and critiquing each other's behavior, and we're not going to do that here. This is about having principles and standards, and threatening violence is never okay. Now we're going to keep on following this particular story. We're hearing a lot of news about HBO Max and Discovery Plus and some mega changes that might be happening over there, including layoffs of almost 70% of the workforce. I want to wait till after the earnings call, which happens today, before we dive into that news, because at that point we'll probably get some real information from Warner Brothers directly, and then we'll actually be able to determine what's going on. Obviously, we're going to keep following this story, so make sure you hit that like and subscribe button and don't miss any updates. But until we know more, what do you guys think? How do you feel about Warner Brothers only getting about $20 million back from canceling Batgirl? And what is your general take on the toxicity of some fans and their response to this event? Tell me what you think in the comments below. If you like this video, make sure you hit like, click subscribe, and if you don't ring that bell, you're not getting any updates. Peace.